Marcus Aurelius once said, "When you emerge in the morning, think of what a valuable benefit it is to be lively, to breathe, to think, to appreciate, to adore. In this light, how can we develop mornings that adjust with this stolid appreciation for life?" Nowadays we display a morning schedule established in the intelligence of Stoicism to set the tone for a serene and deliberate day. Sometime recently we started. I would appreciate if you enjoyed the video so that you can offer assistance me to proceed spreading the stolid reasoning. If you are not subscribed, I prescribe you to subscribe and enact the chime so you do not miss any video. 1. Reflect on the temporal nature of life. One of the foundational columns of impassive logic is the significant understanding and affirmation of the impermanent nature of all things. Every morning, sometime recently, the world starts its cacophony. Take a minute to submerge yourself in this truth. Discover a calm corner where you can sit undisturbed. Guarantee your pose is loose however upright. A physical reflection of the just you point to accomplish between calm and sharpness. Near your eyes and visualize the tremendous region of the universe. Picture stars being born and passing on. Universes turning in the move of time. In this enormous expressive dance, imagine the soil as a modest dab. Inside this dab, think of the rise and drop of civilizations. The mountains that have stood tall and the streams that have carved ways. Presently bring your center closer and think of your possessed life, an important flicker in the fantastic conspire of things. This visualization isn't to reduce our noteworthiness, but to get at the value and brevity of our presence. Understanding life's temporal nature serves as a strong update. Firstly, it underscores the esteem of each day. When we genuinely get a handle on how short-lived our time is, we tend to prioritize what genuinely things over minor diversions and clashes. Waking up with this mentality plans you to explore the day with a more profound sense of reason. In Pith, this morning custom isn't approximately standing up to mortality with fear, but grasping the display with adore, love and activity. As Seneca so shrewdly said, life is long if you know how to utilize it. And so, by establishing our mornings in this home, we remind ourselves to live each day completely, seriously and with elegance. Number 2. Diary your contemplations. The act of journaling profoundly established in stolid hone isn't fair around recording occasions, but it's an in discussion with oneself. It's an act of reflection, of establishing, and at times of catharsis, the exceptionally act of interpreting contemplations to words on paper can be significantly transformative. Begin by choosing a diary that resounds with you. This seem be a straightforward scratch pad and lavish journal, or a computerized record. This is your sacrosanct space, destitute of judgment and outside desires. It's where your considerations, crude and unfiltered, come to breathe. As you start each morning, typing down the to begin with contemplations that come to intellect. They seem be remainders of dreams, waiting sentiments from the past day or expectations around the day ahead. This introductory spill makes a difference, clear mental clutter, much like clearing the yard of fallen clears out. Following, move your center to appreciation in the amazing embroidered artwork of life. It's simple to get trapped in what we need or what we crave, but Stoicism instructs us the esteem of appreciation for the show. List 3 things you're really thankful for, whether it's the warmth of your cover, I adored one's grin, or the insignificant benefit of waking up to a modern day. Past appreciation. Dig into self-reflection. Consider on a impassive rule, or reflect on an individual challenge. Inquire yourself questions. Am I living in arrangement with my values? Where did I act out of motivation or maybe then reason recently? How can I be superior nowadays? This isn't an workout in self-criticism, but or maybe one of self-awareness and development. Finally, set and deliberate for the day through your diary. Type in down a straightforward certification or commitment based on the stolid ethics of shrewdness, boldness, equity, and balance. This serves as your ethical compass, directing your activities and choices all through the day. Keep in mind your diary is a reflecting your inward world. It's a device, a companion, a tutor. Marcus Aurelius' Reflections, one of the most compelling impassive writings, begun as his individual diary. It was his way of reminding himself of impassive standards, of understanding his activities, and of exploring the complexities of life. Number 3. Set day by day eagerly, not objectives. Whereas both objectives and eagerly direct our way, they do so in on a very basic level distinctive ways. Objectives intrinsically future-oriented center on results, accomplishments, and comes about. They give a goal. Eagerly, on the other hand, enlighten the travel. They are display minute stays, profoundly established in our values and the individual we tried to be day by day. Stoicism at its center emphasizes the qualification between what we can control and what we cannot. Objectives regularly connected to outside results may in some cases drop exterior our domain of control. In spite of our best endeavors, unexpected impediments can emerge. Eagerly, be that as it may, dwell solidly inside our domain. They are day-by-day confirmations of our individual values, a cognizant choice of how we wish to explore the world notwithstanding of outside circumstances. As you start your morning, after having cleared your intellect through journaling, reflect on the kind of day you wish to encounter, or maybe then centering on assignments to be finished. Inquire yourself, who do I propose to be nowadays? Do you propose to be persistent, grasping each minute as it comes without hurrying through it? Do you expect it to be compassionate both towards yourself and others, understanding that everybody is battling their possessed fights? Or maybe you propose to be gutsy, standing up to challenges head-on and venturing out of your consolation zone. Compose down these eagerly. They might see like, nowadays I will tune in more than I talk. I will approach clashes with understanding, or I will discover minutes of stillness in the midst of the chaos. These aren't errands to be ticked off. They are updates of the character you aim to epitomize. As Seneca delightfully put it, it does not matter what you bear, but how you bear it. Eagerly are our day-by-day compass in this endeavor. They direct our responses, choices, and behaviors. More than fair detached goals, they ended up dynamic choices that shape our day. By setting every day eagerly, you are committing not to results but to ethics. You're not characterizing victory by what you accomplish but by how you act, react, and exist in the world. The quintessence behind this was not to advance unnecessary enduring but to break the chains of reliance on outside comforts and to remind ourselves of our intrinsic quality. As you begin your day, think up little ways to present deliberate inconvenience. Perhaps it's taking a cold shower to shock you wakeful and fortify your faculties. This act not as it were advances physical readiness, but serves as an allegorical immersion, washing absent the inactivity and reminding you of your capacity to persevere and flourish. Or maybe it's choosing to skip that to begin with glass of coffee, reminding yourself that your will and drive come from inside, not from outside stimulants. You might to consider more intelligent homes, like setting aside 10 minutes to contemplate on a past hardship, recognizing the quality you've shown and the development that risen from it, or choosing to walk or bicycle to work instead of driving, permitting yourself to be shown the environment and grasping the physical effort as a confirmation to your body's capabilities. The reason here is twofold. To begin with, these day-by-day acts of inconvenience serve as preparing for the intellect and soul. Much like a competitor trains the body by frequently venturing out of our consolation zones in little ways, we get ready ourselves for life's bigger unexpected challenges. Besides, they give point of view. By sometimes prior certain comforts, we learn to appreciate them more when we have them. And get it, they aren't the foundations of our bliss or satisfaction. In grasping distress, you're not rebuffing yourself. You're enabling yourself. You're tapping into a more profound supply of quality, shedding superfluous conditions and grasping a stolid sense of flexibility that comes from realizing that genuine satisfaction is autonomous of outside conditions. Whole mindfulness in reflection, whereas Stoicism and mindfulness may accost from diverse social roots, antiquated Greece for the previous and Eastern conventions for the last mentioned, they meet flawlessly in their center on living a centered, deliberate life. The Stoics were significantly adjusted to the nature of the display minute. They accepted that most human enduring emerges from either staying on the past or restlessly foreseeing the future. Epictetus shrewdly expressed, men are aggravated not by things but by the seas which they take of them. In this he implied to the significance of our recognitions, the control of the display minute. Start your morning with a committed space for mindfulness or contemplation. This doesn't essentially cruel, sitting in a lotus position or chanting mantras, unless that's what resounds with you. It's almost establishing yourself in the here and presently. Discover a calm spot and embrace a comfortable pose near your eyes and draw your consideration internal. Begin by basically watching your breath, feeling the rise and drop of your chest or the sensation of disgust entering and clearing out your nostrils. Your breath, ever present, serves as an stay to the current minute. When your intellect meanders, as minds frequently do, tenderly bring your consideration back to your breath without judgment. Once settled, grow your mindfulness to the sensations in your body. Feel the weight of your body against the chair or floor. Take note the temperature of the room, the feeling of texture against your skin. Recognize these sensations without connecting an account to them. Deferar, at that point, delicately move to watching your contemplations and feelings, visualizing them as takes off drifting on a stream or clouds floating over the sky. The key here is separation. You're the eyewitness, not the member. This home adjusts consistently with the stolid accentuation, recognizing between occasions and our judgments around them. Devote the last minutes of your reflection to reflect on a impassive fundamental or sight. For occurrence, you seem consider on Marcus Aurelius' words, the universe is altar, our life is what our considerations make it. Let this intelligence imbue your being, directing your activities and responses for the day, joining mindfulness and contemplation into your morning schedule is more than a calming custom. It's a stolid workout in recognizing and cherishing the show, observing between outside occasions and inner reactions, and developing a mental fortification of poise against the vulnerabilities of life. It's a significant move in viewpoint, adjusting flawlessly with impassive intelligence and guaranteeing that in any case of the day's unusualness, you have a clear vision of your individual travel. Grasp distress in our present-day world. Consolation has ended up in desire, a measuring stick of advance. However, the Stoics, with their significant intelligence, recognized that the unchallenged interest of consolation might be a prevention to individual development. They accepted in the ponder home of presenting little distresses as a implies to brace the soul, develop strength, and guarantee one's readiness for the inescapable misfortunes of life. The impassive logician Seneca once exhorted, set aside a certain number of days, amid which you might be substance with the scantiest and cheapest passage, with coarse and harsh dress, saying to yourself the whereas, is this the condition that I dreaded? 6. Return to stolid lessons. The significant shrewdness, typified in impassive lessons, offers ageless compass for exploring life with elegance, versatility and reason. Be that as it may, these lessons are not unimportant words to be perused once and overlooked. They are seeds of shrewdness that require reliable consideration to prosper inside us and show in our everyday activities. Each morning, make it a custom to submerge yourself in the intelligence of the stolid experts. This might be the intelligent introspections of Marcus Aurelius, the illuminating and comforting letters of Seneca, or the practical talks of Epictetus, or maybe then essentially perusing through these works as you would any other book. Approach them with love and purposeful. You might begin by letting luck direct you, haphazardly selecting a section from a stolid content, or utilizing a devoted stolid day-by-day contemplation book. This approach has a certain enchantment to it, regularly driving you to a piece of shrewdness that feels uncannily related to your displaced circumstances or the day ahead. Once you've settled on a section, take a minute to really be with it, studied it carefully, letting each word, each estimation, reverberate profoundly inside. Process its substance, visualize its message, and consider upon its suggestions. How does this intelligence relate to your life? What all-inclusive truths does it reverberate? After this period of thought, you might feel motivated to scribble down your reflections. Journaling is more than fair putting right to paper. It's a reflective act of interpretation, changing over the intelligence of the people of yore into an individual tenet. As you type in, you might find unused layers to the instructing, maybe seeing it in the light of a later involvement, or anticipating its pertinence in an expected occasion. But Stoicism is, overall, a reasoning of activity. So the genuine summit of this morning custom lies in its application. If today's educating talks of the transition of life, let it rouse you to cherish each minute. If it touches upon the inconsequentiality of outside conclusions, wear it as a shield against ridiculous reactions or acclaims. Each impassive instructing in substance is a call to activity, a provoke to implant your day with ideals and intelligence. And if you're blessed sufficient to share this stolid travel with companions or a community, consider examining these lessons with them. Locks in such exchanges, sharing individual bits of knowledge and hearing changed translations can intensify the profundity of your understanding and cultivate a sense of communal development. In substance, returning to stolid lessons each morning isn't fair and workout and perusing. It's a everyday recharging of a commitment to live with mindfulness, purposeful and ideals. As the Stoics remind us, the genuine quintessence of learning is not fair in understanding, but in encapsulating and living the intelligence. Number 7. Hone amor fati. In the tremendous embroidered artwork of stolid shrewdness, there lies a brilliant stream, a guideline so profoundly significant, however disarmingly straightforward. Amor fati, or the door of one's destiny. This is not a call to detached acquiescence, but or maybe an enthusiastic grasp of anything life brings, be it delight or distress, triumph or tribulation. Each morning as the sun ushers in an unused day, we are to welcome by the vulnerabilities of life. Plans might go off track, trusts might be dashed, or unexpected challenges might develop. It's in these minutes that the stolid guideline of amor fati calls us. It welcomes us to not simply acknowledge but to wholeheartedly cherish anything comes our way. Envision for a minute the flexibility and freedom that this point of view offers. When confronted with misfortune, instead of deploring, "Why is this happening to me?" you might inquire, "How can I develop from this?" Or indeed confirm, "This is precisely what I required." Such a move doesn't trivialize the weight of hardships, or maybe it lights up the silver linings, the lessons and the quality that develops from them. To hone amor fati in the mornings, take a few minutes to rationally get ready for the day ahead. Reflect upon potential challenges you might experience. Visualize them not as obstacles, but as fundamental components of your travel, handpicked by the universe to refine and characterize your character. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "The obstacle to activity progresses activity. What stands in the way gets to be the way." In the grasp of amor fati, each occasion, no matter how pivotal or amazing, is seen as a brushstroke in the magnum opus of our lives. It's an enabling update that we are not simple mannequins of destiny, but dynamic members who have the speculative chemistry to change each circumstance into an opportunity for development, shrewdness, and appreciation. As you step into your day, carry this reasoning with you. Let amor fati be your compass, directing you through storms, with versatility through sunny days, with appreciation, and continuously forward with faithful cherish for the travel that is life. The shrewdness of Stoicism isn't approximately smothering feelings or receiving a life of severity. It's approximately understanding the nature of presence, centering on what's inside our control, and developing an internal citadel of peace. Whereas these 7 homes offer a organized way, let Stoicism be liquid in your life, adjusting and advancing to your individual needs. After all, as Marcus Aurelius famous, the best exact retribution is not to be like your adversary. Do not be the foe to your possess peace and well-being. Which one of these will you consolidate in your morning schedule? Comment down underneath. I trust you delighted in the video, and I am grateful for you joining us. And until following time, inundate in these impassive homes, and let them change your mornings, days, and eventually your life.